Liara was not like the others in her tribe. Her skin carried the same pale silver tone. Her hair flowed like the night wind. But her eyes were different. Whenever danger came close, they glowed bright blue, a light so sharp and clear that everyone around her could see it. From the time she was a child, the glow had saved many lives. When storms came from the mountain, her eyes lit before the winds reached the village. When beasts crept through the dark forest, her eyes shone, and the hunters prepared their weapons. She became the warning bell of her people, the living signal that danger was near. But the glow also made her feared. Many whispered that she was cursed, some avoided her, others bowed to her, believing her to be chosen by the stars. Liara herself never understood it. All she knew was that when the blue fire filled her eyes, someone or something dangerous was close. One quiet evening, as the suns of her world sank low and painted the skies red, the villagers gathered near the landing field. A strange craft had fallen from the skies. It was broken, its metal skin burned, black, and smoke rose from it. Out of it climbed a man, tall, broad-shouldered, his skin darker than theirs, his eyes sharp and restless. A human. None of the villagers had seen a human before. They had heard stories. Traders who crossed stars, warriors who fought wars. But this was the first time one stood in their village. His name was Daniel, and he carried nothing but a small pack and a tool at his side. He raised his hands to show peace. The villagers whispered, wary but curious. The elders stood back, weighing what to do. But Liara stood frozen, her heart pounding, because at the sight of him her eyes glowed. Not faintly, not flickering, but bright, sharp blue, as if a great storm was upon them. Gasps filled the air. Mothers pulled their children closer. Hunters gripped their weapons. Danger, someone hissed. The glow seized danger, Liara tried. To steady her breath, she stared at the human, but she felt no threat from him. His eyes showed exhaustion. His hands trembled as if from hunger or pain, yet her gift screamed otherwise. Her glow said danger was near, danger that came with him. Daniel looked around, confused by the sudden shift. He did not understand why so many eyes now turned cold. He had fallen from the sky, nearly died in the crash, and all he wanted was help. But the glowing eyes of the alien girl told the tribe something different. The elder spoke with a heavy voice. If her eyes glow, then this man brings harm. He cannot stay among us. But Liara hesitated. She studied Daniel, his tired face, the way he bowed slightly, not like an enemy, but like someone asking for mercy. Deep inside, she felt her glow was different this time. It was not like when storms came or beasts attacked. It felt strange, heavier, like a warning of something yet unseen. The villagers argued. Some shouted that the human should be driven out. Others said he should be tied and questioned. A few whispered that perhaps he was cursed, that the glow proved it. The noise rose like thunder. Daniel tried to speak. His voice was steady, though weak. I mean no harm. My ship is broken. I only need food, water, and time to repair. Please, I will not trouble you. But no one believed him. Not with Liara's eyes burning blue in the dusk. Liara turned away, pressing her hands to her face. She wished the glow would fade, but it stayed bright as fire. Her people looked at her, waiting for her judgment, for she had always been the one who warned them, and now her gift, said the human, was danger. Her chest tightened. What if they were right? What if he carried something hidden, some weapon, some curse from beyond the stars? Yet another thought pressed against her mind. What if the glow was not only about danger? What if it meant something else, something her people had never understood? That night, as darkness fell, Daniel was placed under guard. A small hut near the edge of the village became his prison. The villagers wanted him gone by sunrise. The elders whispered of calling the raiders to take him, trading his life for safety. Liara could not sleep. She walked to the edge of the village, the glow still faint in her eyes. She stared at the human hut, at the flicker of firelight inside. She remembered the way his voice shook when he asked for water, the way his hands bore scars like a worker, not a raider. Something was wrong. She could feel it. not just in her eyes but in her heart. The glow burned near him, but it did not feel like danger. It felt like fate. And deep in the forest, unseen by all, shadows moved. Creatures with jagged teeth crept closer, drawn by the crash of the ship and the scent of fire. Their eyes shone in the dark, waiting for the moment to strike. Liara's eyes flared bright blue once more. The human was not the danger. The danger was still coming. The night was heavy with silence, yet Liara's eyes still glowed faint blue. The human slept inside the guarded hut, unaware that most of the village wanted him gone by sunrise. Liara stood under the cold stars, her heart restless. She had never felt the glow act this way before. With storms and beasts, the warning had been sharp, clear. But with Daniel the human, it felt different. Not danger, but something unknown. Something that pulled at her chest like a hidden thread. At dawn, the elders gathered. They spoke with harsh voices. "We will not keep him. If the glow burns, he is a threat. We will drive him away before the suns fall." Hunters nodded, sharpened spears in hand. Mothers whispered that the human might curse the crops or sicken the children. Liara wanted to speak, but fear bound her tongue. Her gift had always been the final sign. If she said her glow was wrong, what would her people believe? Later, Liara walked near the hut. Daniel was awake, sitting cross-legged on the ground. His hands were busy fixing a small device from his broken pack. Sparks flew, but his face showed calm focus. When he noticed her, he smiled, tired but kind. "You are the girl with glowing eyes, yes?" Liara said nothing at first. Her glow flickered stronger the moment she stepped closer. He saw it and frowned. "They think I am danger because of that, don't they?" Her lips tightened. "The glow warns us always when storms come or beasts hunt. It has never failed, but near you it burns bright, and yet you do not feel like danger." Daniel gave a quiet laugh, one without joy. "Maybe your eyes know something before I do. Maybe trouble follows me everywhere." He looked at the scars on his hands, then at the sky. His voice lowered. "My ship was not only broken by accident, I was chased. Something hunted me through the stars, and when I crashed here, I prayed they would not find me soon." Liara's breath caught. Her glow flared as if to answer his words. Was this the truth behind it? Did her eyes sense not him, but what followed him? That evening, while the tribe prepared to cast him out, Liara saw Daniel with the children. Though he was watched by guards, some children sneaked close out of curiosity. One had a broken toy, a small mechanical bird. Daniel fixed it in moments, his hands skilled and gentle. The bird fluttered again, the child's laughter ringing like music. For a moment, even the guards lowered their weapons, watching with softened eyes, but when Liara stepped closer, her eyes blazed blue again and fear returned. Parents pulled their children away, whispering that the human was cursed. Daniel's smile faded. He met Liara's gaze across the firelight. She could see it in his eyes. He was growing weary, not of her people, but of being hunted everywhere he went. That night, Liara dreamed of shadows, creatures crawling through the forest, jaws wide, eyes glowing red. In her dream, Daniel stood before them, holding nothing but fire in his hands, and yet the creatures shrank back. She woke gasping, her eyes glowing blue even in sleep. The next morning, she went to the elders. Her voice was trembling but strong. "Perhaps the glow is not only danger. Perhaps it is warning of something. Else he is not the storm, he is the fire against the storm." The elders frowned. "You question your own gift? For years it has saved us, and now you claim it lies?" "I do not say it lies," Liara whispered. "I say we do not understand it fully." But no one listened. The decision stood. The human would be cast out by nightfall. As the suns dipped low, the guards prepared to march Daniel out of the village. His wrists bound with rope, he did not fight. He only looked once more at Liara, and though his voice was quiet, she heard it clearly. "If your eyes glow, then maybe danger truly is close. But maybe it is not me. Maybe it is what walks in the dark." Her heart pounded. Her glow burned so bright it hurt. She could not stay silent. She ran to him, cutting the rope with her blade. Gasps filled the air as the human stood free. Liara, the elder roared. You betray your people for him? But before anyone could act, a scream ripped through the village. A hunter fell, dragged into the shadows beyond the firelight. Then another cry. Shapes moved in the trees. Shapes with long claws and red eyes, the creatures from Liara's dream, had come. Her eyes blazed blue like fire across the night. The villagers panicked, scattering. The elders shouted orders. Hunters raised weapons, but the beasts were fast, too many. Daniel did not run. He grabbed a burning branch from the fire and swung it with surprising strength. His voice rang out, "Stay behind me." Liara stared in shock. For the first time she understood. The glow was not only about danger, it was also about him. He was tied to it, as if her gift had been waiting for this moment. The creatures hissed, circling, and Liara's glow shone, brighter than ever. The villagers now looked not at her but at Daniel, standing tall, fire in hand. Danger was here, but so was something else, hope. The night was fire and fear. The creatures poured from the forest like shadows given flesh. Their eyes burned red, their teeth long and jagged. The villagers screamed as hunters tried to fight. Spears cracked, shields broke. The ground shook, with the weight of beasts too many to count. Liara stood frozen for a moment, her eyes blazing blue so bright they lit the dark like lanterns. The warning inside her head was deafening. Danger, danger, danger. But she saw something else too. Daniel, standing in the center of chaos, his firebrand raised high. He swung the burning branch with the strength of a man who had fought before. The flames drove the first beast back, its face blistering from the heat. He did not hesitate. He did not fear. He shouted to the villagers, "Keep the children behind me. Close ranks. Don't scatter." The hunters, though unsure, obeyed. For years they had followed the elders, but now their eyes turned toward the human. His voice cut through the panic like a blade. Liara ran to his side. She felt the glow inside her almost pulling her toward him, like her eyes were connected to his presence. When she reached him, she saw something strange. His eyes flashed for just an instant, a faint blue glow, gone in the blink of an eye. She gasped. But Daniel did not notice. He was too busy fighting. He struck another beast, rolling to dodge its claws. His movements were quick, trained, unlike the wild swings of the villagers. Every strike was sharp, every step measured. He fought not like prey but like a soldier. The villagers stared in shock. Many had believed him cursed, but now the cursed man was saving them. His fire lit the square, his voice kept them steady, and his courage spread like fire through dry grass. Still, the beasts pressed harder. One leapt at Liara, jaws wide. She froze, the blue in her eyes shining, like lightning. But Daniel was faster. He tackled the beast mid-air, shoving the burning branch deep into its chest. It screamed, twisting, then fell into ash. Liara's heart pounded. She had never seen such fury, such skill, yet what struck her most was not his strength but his instinct to protect. He had thrown himself between her and death without thought. The elder shouted, "Fall back! Retreat to the inner huts." But Daniel shook his head. "No, if you retreat, they will follow, they will tear through every home. We fight here together." The people hesitated, torn between the humans' orders and their elders' command. Then Liara stepped forward, her glowing eyes sweeping across the crowd. "Stand with him," she cried. "If my glow speaks truth, then danger is here, and he is the fire to fight it." The villagers tightened their grip on their weapons. Fear still clung to them, but something new began to rise. Hope. The battle grew fierce. Fire and screams filled the air. Liara fought beside Daniel, striking with her blade. Guided by the glow that pulsed in her eyes, each time the beasts closed in, she felt the warning before they struck. And Daniel moved as if he sensed it too. Their movements began to flow together, his fire and her glow weaving into one rhythm. But the beasts were endless. For every one they struck down, two more crawled from the shadows. Daniel's firebrand burned low and sweat poured down his face. His chest heaved, yet his eyes stayed sharp. Then came the largest beast, taller than any hut, its body armored in black scales. Its roar shook the air. Hunters stumbled. Elders fell silent. The people saw it, and many dropped their weapons, ready to flee. Liara's glow blazed so bright it blinded her. Her knees weakened. She knew this was not just danger. This was death itself. Daniel stepped forward, his voice hoarse but steady. "Stay back. I'll hold it." "No," Liara said. Her voice trembling but firm, she stood at his side. "We fight it together." The great beast charged. Its claws tearing the ground, Daniel leapt aside, striking its eye with the burning branch. Liara dove under, her blade cutting across its leg. The creature roared, thrashing, but they moved as one, fire and glow against shadow and fang. The villagers, seeing their courage, found their own. With cries of fury, they rushed back into the fight. Spears drove forward, fire spread through the square. Together, human and alien, they fought not as strangers, but as one people. At last, the great beast stumbled. Daniel shoved the burning branch deep into its throat. Liara's blade pierced its heart. With a final scream, the monster collapsed and the ground trembled as it fell. Silence followed, broken only by heavy breaths and crackling fire. The beasts that remained hissed, then fled into the night, their red eyes fading into the trees. The villagers stood in shock, staring at the fallen beast, at the fire, and at the human who had stood against death itself. Daniel dropped the broken branch, his arms trembling. He looked at Liara, his face pale, but steady. "Are you hurt?" he asked. She shook her head, her eyes still glowing faint. "No," she whispered, "but I saw it." "Your eyes, they glowed blue, like mine." Daniel froze, his breath catching. He looked away, as if afraid of what it meant. The villagers murmured, some in awe, some in fear. The elder's voice cracked as he spoke. "Perhaps the human is not a curse. Perhaps he is the reason her glow burns at all." Liara felt her heart race. For the first time, she wondered if her gift was not warning her of danger alone, but calling her toward something greater. And Daniel, was he danger or was he the answer? The village was quiet after the attack. Smoke rose from burned huts. Blood stained the earth, and the bodies of beasts were scattered across the square. The people whispered in fear and wonder. Some called it a miracle. Others called it a curse. But all eyes turned to two figures, Liara and the human Daniel. They had fought side by side. They had struck down the great beast together, and everyone had seen it. Liara's eyes blazing blue, and Daniel's eyes flashing the same color. Even if only for a moment, the elder spoke with a trembling voice. "Perhaps the human is bound to the glow. Perhaps he is the reason it shines so bright." But not everyone believed. Some hunters hissed that Daniel brought the beasts here. Others muttered that his glowing eyes proved he was no true human, but something twisted. Fear hung heavy that night, the villagers argued. Some wanted to honor Daniel as a savior. Some wanted him chained and cast into the wild. Liara listened, her chest tight. She could not shake the memory of his eyes glowing, nor the way her own power surged near him. It was no lie. Their fates were tangled, unable to rest. She followed Daniel when he slipped from the village at dawn. He moved quietly into the forest, his steps sure, as if searching for something. Liara kept to the shadows, but her glow threatened to betray her, flickering faint blue with each step closer to him. At last, Daniel reached the ruins. Old stone half buried in vines and roots. Strange symbols carved into the walls, glowing faintly in the morning light. Liara's heart pounded. These ruins were forbidden. The elders said they were cursed, relics of an age better left buried. Daniel knelt before the stones. His hands traced the markings as if he knew them. His voice whispered words in a tongue Liara did not understand. Yet when his fingers touched the center of the carving, her eyes flared blinding blue. She stumbled from the shadows, her breath sharp. "Stop!" Daniel turned, surprise flashing in his face. "You followed me," he said quietly. "Then you've seen it too." Liara's glow lit the ruins like a beacon. The carvings on the wall answered, glowing brighter where her light fell. It was as if the ruins were alive, waking from long silence. "What is this place?" she demanded, her voice shaking. Daniel's face was grave. "Not a curse, not for your people. These ruins are a memory, a warning left long ago. Humans once stood here, not as enemies but as allies. We fought beside your kind against the same beasts that attacked last night. Liara's chest tightened. That cannot be. The elders say humans never walk this land. They say only raiders come from the stars. Daniel shook his head. Your elders forgot, or they wanted to forget, but the truth is here. I carry a fragment of it. He pulled a small metal shard from his pack. Its surface was marked with the same carvings as the wall. When he held it close, the ruins glowed. Brighter, and Liara's eyes burned so bright they hurt. She fell to her knees, clutching her head. Why does it hurt? Why does my glow burn near you? Daniel's voice softened, though fear lingered in his eyes. Because your gift was never just about danger. It was about us. About humans. It was made to awaken when we are near. Liara froze. Her people believed the glow was a shield, a curse, a warning of storms and beasts. But what if it was something else? What if her gift was meant to bind her to humans, to awaken an old alliance long forgotten? Impossible, she whispered. Yet the ruins glowed stronger around them, the carvings alive with light. Daniel's face darkened. Not impossible. Look, he pointed to the carvings. Images carved deep in stone showed alien warriors and human figures fighting side by side. The same beasts with red eyes and jagged teeth stood against them. The same fire, the same glow. Liara's breath shook. The truth was there, undeniable. Her glow was not a curse, it was a key, and Daniel had unlocked it. But even as the light filled the ruins, a sound echoed in the forest, harsh and cruel. Voices, not beasts but raiders. The same ones the elders feared, armed with blades and rifles drawn by the glow that spilled into the sky. Daniel's jaw tightened. They saw the light. They'll be here soon. Liara's heart pounded. The villagers had planned to trade him to raiders for safety. Now the raiders were coming, and they would see the truth she had just witnessed. They would not let it live. Go back, Daniel said, his voice firm. Tell your people to hide, I'll hold them off. No, Liara whispered, her glow burning hotter. If my eyes shine for you, then I will not leave you. The ruins trembled as the raiders' footsteps grew near. The carvings glowed brighter. Her eyes burned like fire, and Daniel's hand clenched tight around the shard. For the first time, Liara understood. This was not chance. This was destiny, pulling them both into something greater. But destiny came with a price, and the raiders were only steps away. The ruins still glowed faintly when Liara and Daniel hurried back to the village. The air was heavy, carrying the echo of distant voices. The raiders were close. Liara's eyes still burned with faint blue light, refusing to fade. When they arrived, the village was restless. People gathered in the square, whispering and shouting. Some carried weapons, others clutched their children close. The elder raised his hand. For silence, the raiders march this way. We have seen the fires of their camp. We must decide quickly. Eyes turned toward Daniel. Some filled with fear, others with hatred. One hunter spat on the ground. The raiders come because of him, his broken ship, his cursed glow. If we hand him over, they may leave us in peace. Murmurs. Rose, the idea spread like poison. Hand over the human and danger will pass. Liara's heart pounded. She stepped forward, her voice sharp. No. They come whether he is here or not. The beasts came first, now the raiders. Do you not see? This is bigger than him. He is not the danger. He is the warning. He is the fire to fight it. But her glow betrayed her. Even as she spoke, her eyes shone blue. The people gasped, stepping back. To them, the glow had always meant one thing: danger, and now it burned brighter than ever near Daniel. The elder's voice shook. Child, your own gift condemns him. How can we trust him when your glow screams at his presence? Liara's words faltered. She could not explain what she had seen in the ruins, not without proof, not without them believing, and already fear was stronger than reason. That night, as the villagers pretended to prepare defenses, a group of hunters slipped into the shadows. Their plan was whispered in secret. They would capture Daniel and deliver him to the raiders before dawn. A bargain for safety. Liara felt unease twisting in her chest. Her glow flickered even in her sleep. She woke before sunrise. her heart racing. She followed the faint sound of footsteps to the hut where Daniel rested. She arrived just as the hunters moved. Their blades flashed, their ropes ready. Daniel fought, but he was outnumbered. His fists struck hard, but they forced him down, ropes biting his wrists. "Stop!" Liara cried, her eyes burning so bright that hunters shielded their faces. "You cannot do this." One hunter snarled. "Be silent, girl. Your glow proves he is cursed. We do this for all of us. Once the raiders have him, they will leave us be." Daniel's voice was calm despite the ropes. "Is this truly what you believe? That giving me to raiders will save you? It won't. They will take me, and then they will take more. They never stop at one." But the hunters did not listen. Fear had closed their ears. They dragged him through the square, toward the forest path. The village watched in silence. Some turned away, ashamed, but none moved to stop it. Liara ran forward, standing in their path. "You betray not only him but yourselves. Do you not remember the beasts? Without him you would all be dead. His fire saved us. My glow burned because of the storm beyond, not because of him." The hunters shoved her aside, but Daniel caught her gaze as he was pulled away, his voice low, steady. "Do not risk yourself. For me, if they want me, let them take me." Her chest ached. Her glow was so fierce it felt like her very soul was on fire. "No," she whispered. "My eyes shine because of you. You are part of it. I cannot let them." The villagers hesitated, torn between fear of the raiders and shame at betraying the one who saved them. But fear won. They let the hunters lead. Daniel into the forest, Liara followed, silent and hidden. Her glow lit faint blue among the trees. The hunters marched until they reached the clearing, where the raiders waited. Dark figures with cruel eyes, armored in scraps of steel and bone. They grinned when they saw Daniel bound. "Well done," their leader sneered. "You bring us a prize, a human, rare, valuable, perhaps worth more than your little village, perhaps worth taking all of you." As well, the hunters stiffened, fear spreading as they realized the truth. The raiders would not stop with Daniel. They would take everything. Liara stepped from the shadows, her blade drawn, her eyes blazing. "No." The raiders laughed. "The cursed girl with glowing eyes, how sweet she thinks she can fight." But before they could move, the ruined shard in Daniel's pack pulsed with light. The raiders stepped back, startled. Daniel straightened, despite his bonds. "You don't understand what you've touched. This is older than you, older than your greed." Liara rushed forward, cutting the ropes from his wrists. The hunters cried out, "What have you done?" Daniel rose, the shard glowing in his hand. His eyes flashed blue once more, stronger this time. The raiders paused, unease flickering in their faces. Liara stood beside him, her glow matching his. Together they burned bright in the clearing, light against shadow. The hunters fell silent, shame heavy in their eyes. They saw the raiders' greed. They saw the truth they had tried to deny. But it was too late. The betrayal had already opened the door. The raiders raised their weapons, voices cruel. "Take them all." And the forest roared as battle began. The clearing shook with chaos. Raiders rushed forward with blades and rifles. Hunters stumbled back, torn between fighting or fleeing. In the center stood Daniel and Liara, their eyes glowing together, one human, one alien, bound by light. The shard in Daniel's hand pulsed brighter, casting strange symbols into the air. The raiders faltered, uneasy, but their greed was stronger than their fear. "Take it." Their leader roared, "Kill the human, bring me the girl." Liara's glow flared like fire. She felt her pulse beat in rhythm with Daniel's. For the first time she understood. Her gift was not just warning, it was awakening. It was answering him. They fought side by side, Daniel struck with speed and precision. Liara moved with grace, her glow guiding her strikes. The raiders fell back, confused by the force of two warriors they had thought easy prey, but numbers pressed hard, and soon Daniel and Liara were surrounded. The shard glowed so bright it burned. In his hand, his jaw tightened. "If we stay here, we die." Liara's eyes swept the trees. The ruins glowed faintly in the distance. "The ruins," she whispered. "The answers are there." Together they broke through the ring of raiders, sprinting into the forest. Branches tore at their clothes, gunfire cracked behind them, but the shard's light pulled them onward, guiding them back to the ancient stones. When they stumbled into the ruins, the carvings blazed alive, filling the air with blue fire. Symbols danced across the walls, forming images of battles long past. Liara gasped, falling to her knees. The glow in her eyes connected with the carvings as if they were part of her. Daniel pressed the shard into the center of the wall. A deep hum filled the ruins, the ground trembled. Light poured out, forming visions for them both. They saw humans and aliens standing together, armies united. Their enemies were the same red-eyed beasts that had attacked the village, swarming across. Worlds like a tide of death. Humans had come not as conquerors, but as allies. The glow had been born in that time, a gift woven into Liara's people to warn them when danger was near, and to guide them to humans. Liara's heart raced. Her people had forgotten. The elders had buried the truth in fear and superstition. Her glow was never a curse, it was a bond. Daniel's voice was low, shaken. This was all planned long ago. Your gift was meant to awaken when humans returned, to fight again, side by side. Liara's eyes filled with tears of light. Then that is why I burn near you, not because you are danger, but because you are. The answer. But the vision darkened. The ruins showed the beasts spreading once more, greater in number, stronger than before. Entire worlds falling, fire consuming the stars. And behind them something worse, a shadow vast as the sky, a mind guiding the swarm. Daniel clenched his fists. They're not finished. They never died. They've only been waiting. The ruin's voice echoed, old and broken. When the glow meets human flame, the bond will rise again. Only together can the swarm be stopped. Liara trembled. Her entire life she had been told her glow was only a warning, a curse. Now she knew it was a call to battle, a call to unity. My people will never believe this, she whispered. They fear the past. They will not follow. Daniel met her eyes, his own faintly glowing. Then we show them. We fight for them until they see the truth, until they have no choice but to believe. Before they could speak more, the raiders burst into the ruins, weapons raised, faces twisted with rage. But as their boots touched the glowing floor, the carvings flared, the raiders stumbled, blinded. One by one they dropped their blades, screaming as the light burned their greed into ash. Liara stared in, shock. The ruins protect us. Daniel's face was pale in the glow. Not us. Only those bound to it. The ruins see them as intruders, but us as chosen. The last raider fell, smoke rising from his armor. Silence followed, broken only by the hum of the ruins. Liara's glow dimmed at last, leaving her trembling with exhaustion. Daniel dropped the shard, his hands shaking. They stood in the center of the ruins, staring at each other, both changed, both marked. Liara whispered, "So this is the truth. My glow, your fire, our bond. It is not curse, not chance, but destiny." Daniel gave a weak smile, though his eyes were troubled. Destiny is heavy. It means the real fight has not yet begun. She lifted her gaze to the carvings where the shadow still loomed above the stars. Her glow flickered again, faint but steady. Then we prepare, and when it comes, we will not face it alone. But outside the ruins, the village was restless. The hunters who had betrayed Daniel whispered lies. The elders feared the light they had seen. They would not welcome the truth so easily. And beyond the forest, in the far distance, the sky flickered red as ships broke through the clouds. Not raiders, not traitors, but something far older, far worse. Liara's glow returned, burning bright as a flame. Daniel's eyes caught the same, blue spark. Together they understood, the real war was only beginning. The ruins still glowed faintly as Liara and Daniel stepped back toward the village. Their bodies were tired, their minds heavy with the truth they had seen. Yet their eyes burned the same blue fire, united in rhythm. When they arrived, the people were waiting. The square was filled with torches, hunters with weapons, Elders with stern faces. Children clung to their mothers. Fear filled the air like smoke. The elder raised his hand. The human has brought nothing but ruin. The beasts came, then the raiders. Now light bursts from the cursed ruins. We cannot live in peace. While he remains, murmurs of agreement swept through the crowd. Some shouted for Daniel to be cast out. Some cried that he should be killed before more danger followed. Liara stepped forward, her glow sparking to life. The people gasped, stepping back. Her voice carried across the square, clear and fierce. You are blind. You see danger where there is none. You think my glow is a curse, but it is a gift. It shines not because of him as enemy, but because of him as ally. My glow calls us to stand with him to fight what comes. The elder's face twisted. You dare defy your own gift? You claim to know better than your ancestors? I do not claim, she said, her eyes blazing blue. I have seen it. The ruins showed the truth. Long ago, humans and our kind fought side by side against the swarm. The glow was made for this, to awaken when humans returned. And now they have. The villagers stirred, confusion in their eyes. They wanted to believe, but fear chained them. Daniel stepped forward, his voice steady though his body trembled with exhaustion. You saw what attacked you. You saw the beasts. You saw the raiders' greed. Do you think it ends here? No, this is only the beginning. The swarm is returning, and they will not stop until every world is ashes. If you cast me out, if you kill me, it will not save you. It will only blind you to the truth. Some hunters lowered their weapons, doubt. Growing, a mother clutched her child tighter, whispering, the beasts, the humans saved us. But others hissed, lies, tricks, his glow is false, his fire will burn us all. Liara's chest ached. She turned to her people, her voice breaking. All my life, my eyes burned when danger came, and I never doubted, never. And now I tell you, they burn because of him, but not as danger. They burn because fate calls us to him. If you cannot trust my words, then trust my eyes. They have never lied. Silence filled the square. Only the crackle of torches broke the stillness. The villagers looked at her, at the human, at the glow that bound them both. Finally, the elder spoke, his voice bitter. Even if you are right, even if the ruins speak truth, why should we fight? We are a small people. We have no armies, no ships. If the swarm comes, we will be crushed. Daniel's jaw tightened. Then stand. Even if small, stand. If you hide, you die alone. If you fight, you may live. And you will not fight alone. Humans will rise, others will rise, but if you turn away now, you betray not only yourselves, but the whole galaxy. Liara's glow surged, the blue light filling the square. The choice is not about fear. It is about courage. It is about hope. The villagers shifted. Some fell to their knees, whispering prayers. Others lowered their weapons. The tide was turning. But before peace could settle, the sky cracked. Red fire tore across the clouds. Shadows moved above. Ships unlike raiders, larger, darker, filled the heavens. The air shook as their engines roared. The villagers screamed, pointing upward. Daniel's eyes burned faint blue. Liara's glow blazed like lightning. Together they looked at the sky. The swarm had come, not as beasts from the forest, but as ships from the stars. The elder fell silent, his voice lost. The people trembled, looking to him for answers, but he had none. Liara stepped forward, raising her glowing eyes to the sky. This is the truth. This is the danger my eyes have always warned of. The swarm has returned. Daniel lifted his hand, fire sparking in his grip. And we will fight it together. The villagers looked at them, the cursed girl and the stranger, now blazing with light side by side. For the first time, fear broke, replaced by something else. Belief. The elder bowed his head, defeated. Then the choice is made. We follow you. The ground trembled as the swarm ships descended, their shadows falling across the village. Liara and Daniel stood at the front, their glow and fire shining against the darkness. The people gathered behind them, hunters ready, mothers clutching children but not running. For once they chose to stand, Liara whispered. her voice trembling with both fear and strength. It begins now. Daniel nodded, his eyes glowing faint blue. Yes, and we will not face it alone. Above them, the swarm ships opened. Shadows, spilling into the sky like a storm. The light of one human and one alien burned against the dark. The final choice had been made. But the true war was only just beginning.